Alright, let's do this. Got another Flash game in the pipe for you. This week, I'm doing Mastermind World Conqueror, a game I initially played at far too young an age, as demonstrated by the fact that I asked my mom what a condom was after hearing the word in the tutorial.
Welcome to Mastermind World Conqueror, sir. We're gonna get through this tutorial quick and dirty, so I hope you brought a condom.
Anyway, this game can best be described as a fairly unique take on the base management genre. The basic gameplay loop revolves around hiring minions, sending them out to conduct missions, and using the acquired resources to upgrade your base. The end goal, of course, is to conquer the planet, an objective which requires highly advanced technology. Now, I will admit that, describing it like that, the game's basic mechanics don't actually sound particularly entertaining, but the game puts a lot of effort into stylizing itself, and this includes making those repetitive activities each somewhat more rewarding to perform. Speaking of style, the game looks amazing. It's got a distinct color palette that works really well with what it's trying to do, and the art has that inexplicably good old internet art style, with sharp shadows and noticeable outlines that somehow work well together. The game begins with a self-aware tutorial, and while the dialogue overall might be a little bit cringy,
Yeah, I'm here about the science.
All right, it's yours, it's yours.
Let's get out of here, guys. Which science?
I was still able to appreciate what they were going for, and the end result is a pretty decent characterization of the Mastermind and all the others. Tonally, it's clear the game isn't taking itself too seriously, and that's a good thing because given what else we're doing in the game, a serious atmosphere wouldn't really fit, or at the very least would make the gameplay loop a lot more boring. Alright, let's talk about those missions in more detail. This part of the game is extremely simple. Plot the mission. Most missions require a certain number of minions to be in the command room for this, and then execute. Each mission has a chance of success and does a specific thing. Gonna be honest, most mission types are exceedingly unnecessary. Steel Cash and Steel Science are the only real important ones. Cash, for obvious reasons, and Science because it brings you closer to winning the game. There's a bunch of little base management things you can do, like investing in businesses or staffing minions in the financial room to increase your passive income, but for my playthrough, where I managed to beat the game in less than an hour, I've noticed that a lot of these mechanics are simply unnecessary. I am, unfortunately, going to have to dock points for this, because I feel like they could be really good if the game actually gave those features an opportunity to express themselves fully. As it stands now, the game is simply too short, or maybe just too easy. I'm not sure which. Once I hoarded enough cash to buy the moon base and the flamethrowers, it was basically curtains. The enemy attacks simply could not bypass my minions, and I just sat there speedrunning the science tree, to the degree that I was almost continuously under attack for the second half of the game. That's another issue I would like to point out. The enemy attacks do not in any way feel even remotely threatening. My units have significantly more HP and damage, only further boosted by the technology I steal, and at no point did my base ever take damage, even when I was caught unprepared. In fact, these mechanics that almost feel unfinished are in some ways a detriment to this review, because I simply had no reason to engage with half of them. That isn't to say they don't offer some good world building. For example, I have the power to sacrifice a minion and increase the effectiveness of all my remaining minions, but I'm so strong already I don't have any reason to ever do that. Half of the buttons in this game I never clicked on at all, and that's upsetting to me because this game feels like it could be way better if it were in some way made more difficult or longer form to make room for them. Of course, I can't think of any way that might be done, but hey, I'm not a game dev. Moving on, the voice acting is pretty good for a Flash game, but I did end up skipping most of the cutscenes. Here's the one sample I did find.
Top of the morning, sir. I'm here to talk to you about the Mastermind. Now, I'm sure you've heard about the Mastermind and what he can do for you, and you can read all about how he wants to conquer your nation and conquer your hearts.
Gracias, amigo.
One house down, an entire nation to go.
See, not terrible. The game clearly had something in mind when it was being created, but again, I have to dock points for the fact that it's just too easy. I can't think of a nicer way to describe it. I spend most of my time watching my minions steal things from me, and then at the end here I just destroy the world and win without any trouble. There's no challenge. There's no obstacle to overcome. It's basically an idle game. But what kind of idle game can be beaten in less than an hour? Ugh, never mind. The little details and quality of life features the game includes are nice, like the little detail of actually being able to see the minions in your command room, and the alerts for the world events. It's a shame none of them actually matter. Like, seriously, I'm not joking here. There is so much stuff in this game that doesn't matter at all. Each of these little continents have, like, damage meters that theoretically have different effects on world events, but literally not once in my entire playthrough did that ever matter at all. I am still not quite sure what they do, because it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I completed the entire campaign only ever attacking South America. Anyway, I successfully destroy the world, and yeah, that's the game. I can't even do a New Game Plus or anything like that to explore all the things I didn't do the first time. At first I was tempted to play it again to see if there was anything better I could have done, and then I realized, no. If those mechanics do not serve the main objective of the game, or do literally anything for the player in terms of world building, story, progression, or even just mindless entertainment, those things may as well just not exist. They certainly didn't for me. And so, I suppose that is going to conclude this review. I really want to like this game. I really do. It does basically everything right, except its own mechanics, which is unfortunate because those are really detrimental to the experience, and yet I didn't walk away unsatisfied. Somehow it still felt good while playing it, only afterward did I realize how much it was missing. Okay, final verdict. Pretty mindless fun if you don't care about complex game systems, because they don't matter. Alright, that's gonna do it for today. Back next week. And until then, this is Jake, keeping my promise to nobody, signing off.
Wait a minute. Where are my cheesy snacks?